You're listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered, the show for people smart enough to get out of the wrong relationship and bold enough to do it without losing their damn minds. Hosted by Ksenia Mensch, a divorce strategist and straight-talking badass, this podcast is your no-fluff, no-shame, take-control guide to surviving litigated divorce with clarity, guts, and zero regrets. Let's get into it. Here's Ksenia.
You're listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered. And today I want to talk about dating, which is an inevitable part of after divorce life, unless you decided to swear off dating for good, which is not that challenging considering how messed up dating culture is today. As you know, how to lose a guy right now in 10 days, it's very simple, right? Be there for him, respond to text, show that you're interested, and it seems like they're gone. And I know it's a woman's perspective, and I'm sure the men have their own beef with women. I understand that. But I think both sexes will agree that dating culture right now is incredibly challenging. But what I want to talk about today is dating single moms. Because after divorce, a lot of us have kids, and dating single moms is a little different area of dating. It brings its own challenges, right? And the reason why I want to talk about it because something happened to me a couple days ago, and of course I want to share about it because I went through a flurry of emotions before settling into something like more stable. And let's talk about it. So I was talking to one guy, and I thought he was cute, and I was curious to see where it may go. But he's single, no kids, and I'm a single mom with two teenage kids. So a little different playing field. But I did ask him, what do you think about, single moms? Is it a challenge or is it a boundary? His response was single moms are usually more fun time than a long time. And that was done over text. I I paused. I was taken aback. I appreciated the honesty, but I wasn't sure if that's honest or just being so unaware how it may affect somebody else. Or just being immature. I haven't figured that out because when I read that response, I initially, it stung. I was like, what the hell? Um, then I was pissed. I'm like, what the hell, you know? And finally, I was like, huh, all right, whatever. Like you just, I moved on. I thought about it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because, hey, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Delivery could have been better, but I had no emotional investment. So it was easy way to say, all right, not a good match. Um, but here's what I want to talk about. Dating single moms is, I know there are two camps. One camp is absolutely because these women, they know how to handle shit. We as single moms, we know commitment, we know how to manage schedules, we know how to run our lives, our kids' lives. We are like workhorses. We know about relationship. I think single moms are really coolest group out there. If you treat single mom well, you're gonna be in great hands. But I also understand not dating single moms as a boundary. And I will talk about it because, for instance, my boundary is I don't like dating single dads. And the reason is it has nothing to do with kids. I love kids. I have nothing, it has nothing to do with kids. To me, if a parent says to me, hey, I need to do this for the kid, that's absolutely fine. Like, I understand that because my kids are my priority. And when I'm dating somebody, I will cancel all the plans if I need to be somewhere for the kids. So, but that's not an issue. That's not why I have this boundary. I have this boundary of not dating single men, single dads, is because I don't want to have a third wheel in the relationship. And what I mean by that, there is always connection to ex-wife because she is the mom of the kids and you're co-parenting. So depending on where you're at in this parenting timeline, how long is it going to be three of us in the relationship? And to me, I used to be a jealous person until I realized that I don't have to be, which is great. It actually very refreshing not to be a jealous person. But I also have zero desire to compete with an ex-partner because ex-partner, we all as ex-partners, especially when we have connection like kids, we have a special place in the hearts, right? Like the dad of my kids, he's present in my life one way or another. Whether I want it or not, he is there because we share kids. The difference in my situation is that when kids are 18, um, he no longer will be a part of my life at all, just because of our dynamic. But a lot of times, when you have mutual respectful relationship, the parenting doesn't stop after kids turn 18, right? And you continue to co-parent. So, regardless of the age of the kids, if you're very friendly with your ex-spouse, to me, I don't want to be a part of that dynamic because, again, it makes me feel like there are three of us in the relationship. That's why I have this boundary. I want to date a man with no kids. You could have been married, that's fine. Um, but not with kids. And I just want to reconfirm, not because I don't like kids, it's because there is a never-ending connection, and I have to share my man with the ex-partner. That's that's kind of where I'm at. So if somebody tells me, listen, I don't date single mom because of that, or because I want to build a family with somebody else, and I get it, a lot of single moms, especially when you have older kids, you can be like, I'm done. I have my kids. I don't want to have any more kids. And if guy wants to have kids one day, that it's a mismatch. So also get it. Like, I understand why there can be a no-fly zone. Completely understand. But let's go back to the response. I usually see single moms as a fun time, not a long time. What do you think? Is it offensive or is it complimentary? At least we're considered. Yay. Um, and listen, also after divorce, I mean, we all go through stages of wanting to be in nothing serious because we just left the relationship, right? So want to have fun times. So I understand where that stigma may show up, like where it originates from. But being on the receiving end of that comment, again, I was floored for a second, and I did call my friend, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa! I think I decided that I'm gonna be staying single for a while because I have no desire proving myself to somebody that I'm not a fun time, that I am a long time. I also have no desire to prove that just being single mom is actually the raddest shit. Like I am rad. I am cool, right? And it doesn't make me damaged. It doesn't make me damaged because I have kids. But I did feel for a second, for a splitting second, that something's wrong with me. Because I had kids, now it makes me the damaged clearance product, When in reality, what happened, I actually I got refurbished, repackaged, and I am selling now at a higher price than before. If we want to compare it to like the price points. So to me, again, processing that information was a very interesting experience. But I also realized how far personally I have come in getting comfortable in my own skin and saying, fuck it, not the right person. Delivery could have been different. Like, don't get me wrong, delivery could have been way better than that. Um, and also, that's not how I positioned it in the question. The question was, do you see that as challenging or is it your boundary? Like, again, I can see both ways, but I did not position it like, hey, is it fun? I know single moms are fun. I know it. Um, so speaking of all of that, what are your thoughts, listeners? What are your boundaries? I would love, love, love to hear your stories. I would love to hear your opinions and your comments. So please feel free to share. Please also like the video if you find that interesting, entertaining. Um, and I want to close out with this. It's not easy to share these stories because I don't like putting my life out there and talking about my adventures too much. But I also understand that when things like that happened, what I did in my situation, again, I went through a slew of emotions. It stung a little bit. I felt low. Then I got angry. It all happened within like 10, 15 minutes. And then it turned like, that's a great discussion point, So you, as a mature adult, you process that information and bottom line, what do you take from this experience? Well, I get to record another episode and talk about it and see who else experienced something like that and what their comments are on this type of situation. Especially again, once you are done with divorce, dating is something inevitable unless you decide not to be a part of that scene. So, thank you for listening. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, share your stories and please like and subscribe to my channel as well. That would be so great and I highly appreciate it. And thank you for listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered. And until next time, see ya.
That's it for this episode of Uncoupled and Unfiltered. If you're loving the raw truth and practical takeaways, do the badass thing and rate and review the show wherever you listen. It helps more good people find their way out of the chaos. And check the show notes. Yeah, we actually put some useful stuff in there. Resources, links, tools, go grab what you need. Until next time, don't settle, don't shrink, and don't look back.